Hello again. Welcome back to Classic Compass. Let me introduce you to a Fulbright scholar from Russia, Nelia Ermolenka. She had graciously accepted to provide an enlightening lecture to the World Culture Club at Northwest Pennsylvania Collegiate Academy. Welcome, Nelia, to Classic Compass. So, per my research, the Fulbright Visiting Student Program is open to Russian university graduates in the arts, engineering, natural sciences, humanities, and social sciences. This program mostly supports a year or 2 years of research or study. So, congratulations. If you don't mind, what distinguished you from other candidates that supported your winning the Fulbright scholarship?
So first of all, I should say that Fulbright program it's a program for improving intercultural relationships. So both American citizens and foreigners can do it. So American citizens they go abroad to countries like Argentina. They used to go to Russia, but I don't think they do it now. And for foreigners, it's a program that for foreigners can come to the US to get a master's degree to do research for a year, or they can come here as graduate assistantship. So I'm doing this program. I work as a teacher of Russian. I teach Russian at Mercyhurst University, and I am allowed to take several courses at Mercyhurst University to mm, to improve my teaching skills and my English.
Wow, that sounds great. That's very inspiring. So, can you please provide an overview of your research or work as a Fulbright scholar in the USA, and what university specialty are you pursuing in the Russian
Okay, so
Federation?
one more time. I got my bachelor's degree in education and my master's degree in linguistics back to Russia. So now I'm not getting a degree here. I'm just taking courses that help me to improve my teaching skills. Um, for example, I'm taking a biopsychology course, which helps me to understand the and to get the idea of how our brain works in order to implement new methods of teaching a language. For example, like how I can motivate my students, and help them to remember things. So, coming back to your question, I'm not doing a degree now, so I'm not doing a research, but I'm just trying to improve my knowledge and to be a better teacher.
That's great. So what are your career goals? I'm assuming teacher.
Yeah.
Um, and how will the study in the USA help you to achieve them?
So, um, like you asked me, what differs me from other candidates, and I would say that I had a particular purpose of coming here because I wanted to explore and to get the experience of American classroom, because the system of education differs in Russia and in the US. So I wanted to get the experience of being an American teacher, um, and because I think that we can learn from other cultures, like Russian education system can learn from other culture from American education system. So when I was writing my essay to apply for a Fulbright program, I wrote that um, I want to see and explore how American educational system differs from Russian one, and to get these like and to take maybe the benefits of American system and to implement it into Russian classroom and into teaching my students. So when I'm going back to Russia, I want to start my own business, like a private school, where I can teach languages in a different way. I mean, in a different way from the state schools, because I don't know why, but not many people can actually speak a language, can speak English when they finish like a regular state school. So I hope that I can do it when I go back.
Yeah, that's a great purpose, and I'm sure you'll be able to do that very well. What made you want to do teaching?
Oh, teaching. Okay. So I've always been interested in. When I was a child, I like to play this, like to role play when I'm a teacher, and my friends were my students. I think I was inspired by my English teacher. She was really good, and she played a fundamental role in my life, because she didn't only teach me an English language, but she also taught me how to be confident, and how to handle the problems outside the classroom. So I think that's like we all need a person who believes in you and who says that you can do this or that, and that's what I do in my classroom. I try to teach my students not only a language, but also I try to teach them certain patterns, like if you can do this in my classroom, then you can do everything outside the classroom. So I think that my teacher inspired me to be a teacher and to do this job.
That's amazing. So maybe someday you'll inspire someone else to be a teacher.
I wish.
Yeah. And so what are some could you share with our listeners an example of Russian work of literature and that has profoundly impacted the development of Russian language?
So I think that I can name several books that became extremely popular all around the world, and they influenced not just Russian language, but also theater and literature all around the world. For example, plays by Chekhov are extremely popular, and they do them in New York, like for example, The Government Inspector. Books by Dostoevsky have the profound impact on literature, like Crime and Punishment. I think this is one of the most famous books by Dostoevsky, Fyodor Dostoevsky. And another book is War and Peace. This is by Leo Tolstoy. Yeah, I know it's quite popular abroad. So I would say that these books have the most profound impact on literature and Russian language.
Yeah, that sounds very interesting. Maybe I'll go and read some of them. So, in your view, how has your study of Russian and English languages contributed to your understanding of linguistic diversity?
I know a quote, but I don't know who said this. But they said, if you want to talk to a person, you should choose a language that you both share. But if you want to talk to a person's heart, you should speak their native language. And I believe this is true because I started studying Spanish just several months ago, and I went to Mexico a month ago. And when you start speaking Spanish with the locals, you can see how their face expression changes, because they're like it's as a speaker of Russian, when I hear when somebody speaks Russian, I feel respect for this person, and I know how hard it is to learn a language, but I love that people have the desire to learn a foreign language, and I think it's very important because there are sometimes there are words and phrases that just cannot be translated into English or into Russian or into another language. For example, in English you have word exciting, and this word like cannot be translated into Russian without losing its meaning, its connotation. So I would say that when you learn a language, you learn a completely different personality, like a new personality. You are given birth to a new personality, and this broadens your horizons a lot.
Wow, that's very insightful. Um, so, how can being multilingual foster a deeper appreciation for linguistic diversity and the importance of language preservation in general?
Um, like I said, there are a lot of things that you cannot just translate into a foreign language. So, in order to preserve culture, traditions, you have to learn a language, because if you, for example, in the USA, you have such an event that is called tailgating, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have this in Russia, and we even that's why we don't have the translation for this event. But you have to know the culture of the US and of the US people from the US, and you have to know how obsessed they are with sport, with American football, to know the meaning of this word. So it's very important to learn a language, and to, for example, if you are moving to a different country and you're given a birth to a child there, I believe that the child should be raised bilingually. If, for example, if your partner speaks a different language, then the child should be raised bilingually in order to, um, to soak two different cultures from their parents.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I was raised because, well, my parents are both from India,
Mm-hmm.
in a specific place called Punjab in
Mm-hmm.
India.
Mm-hmm.
So they know Punjabi. But I was born in the US.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned English and Punjabi, and I
Mm.
was raised like that.
Cool, cool.
Yeah.
So that does Punjabi, right?
Uh-huh.
Does it help you to learn more about your parents' culture?
Definitely, yes. And like you said, like some events that happened in India, I know about them because I know Punjabi. And it also helps like when I go to India and I can have a conversation with people in Punjabi,
Mm-hmm.
it definitely does make a difference. So, yeah.
Okay, and I'm really interested in bilingual children, because I personally I was raised speaking Ukrainian and Russian, So, but Ukrainian and Russian are very similar. I mean, they have similar grammatical structure. So I'm very interested uh, when people say that they learned, sorry, they were raised speaking both languages. So, what was your what was your first language like that you started
Um,
speaking? Was it English or
I don't remember, but
yeah,
I would probably say it was English
it was
because
English?
I went to like schools
Mm-hmm.
and everything. So, but I learned Punjabi along the way.
Mm-hmm.
But I think my first ever language was English.
Okay. Cool. And have you ever thought what language do you think? Like, do you think in English or do you think in Punjabi?
It depends on the situation. There are there are some situations where I'll think of a Punjabi word to describe something,
Mm-hmm.
but like I think now as I'm growing older, I'm starting to think more in English
Mm-hmm.
because like I go to a high school in the USA,
Mm-hmm.
so there are not as many opportunities to speak Punjabi as there were when I was younger.
Okay.
Yeah.
But at home, do you speak
At
Punjabi?
home, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Good. Well, it's really interesting to hear that.
Yeah. And I also once read that studying a language without knowing its culture is like a delicious meal without salt. So, in what ways would you integrate Russian culture into your study in the USA?
Mm-hmm. That's an interesting question. That's a really good one. Because I do believe that you can study a language without studying the culture, like I said before, like tailgating and all that stuff. But here we have a lot of cultural events. We cook Russian food. We talk about Russian food. We watch, like now it's even more easier to deep a person into a foreign culture because you have YouTube videos. Or any videos you can we watch films and we watch films not just to get like to pick up a new vocabulary, but also we watch a film and discuss the period of history or what happened in Russia in that period. And I usually like we have celebrations that are similar to American ones and that are completely different. For example, Easter. Uh, First of all, it's on a different day, and second of all, there are different traditions that we have on Easter, and we are going to have a cultural event with our students outside the classroom to tell them about how Easter is celebrated in Russia, and they will have an opportunity to practice a language and to feel the the Russian Easter, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is really important to study culture because when people are studying culture, they're getting interested. Like you said, you know a lot about historical events in India, right? So um, when they study culture, they get involved and they have like mm, different emotions. And this comes from my biopsychology class. When people are feeling something, when they have good or bad emotions, mm, this helps them to remember things, you see. So having cultural events at Mercyhurst helps our students to remember words in Russian and to speak a language.
Yeah. That's really also insightful. So, and what advice would you have would you give students interested in linguistics, particularly in learning Russian?
I would say that people who study Russian are heroes, really, because I find Russian much more difficult than English, and studying Russian is much more difficult than studying English. So I would advise them to be patient, not to be not to be critical um, towards like themselves, and to be interested in learning a language. And this is not just about Russian. To be interested and to be disciplined, because learning a language is like exercising in a gym.
Yeah.
If you go there like twice a year, you will not get any results.
Yeah.
But if you exercise every day, you will see the progress very quickly.
Yeah. That's a wonderful analogy. Yeah, I completely agree. So, those are all my questions. Do you have any um other insights that you would like to share with our podcast?
Um, I would say that being a Fulbright at Mercyhurst and in the USA is one of the most amazing experiences that I've ever had in my life. And I want to say that it's very important to travel. It's very important to study languages and to speak with people using their language, because there are so many bad things all around the world, but people, like individuals, they can make things better by
Yeah.
being friends.
Yeah.
And how can we be friends? We should travel. We should see other countries with our own eyes. Uh, we shouldn't believe what they say to us on TV. And yeah, just um, this is my advice to everybody: to travel, to study languages, and to
Yeah.
be friends.
Yeah, I agree. So, on that positive note, we'll see you in the next video and podcast. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.